Hey guys, how's it going? I am IAmPattyJack, and welcome to Mall Empire. This is a game that I was given a key for earlier today, and I thought I would give it a try because it might not show on my channel that often, but I like variety of games, and games like Sim Tower, and different management types of games, I do enjoy those. That tycoon-esque type of things, so I thought I'd give it a shot, because why not? Sounds kind of neat. So that's what we're going to do. I've played it for a while here, about an hour in, and honestly I think that's kind of enough to actually give my overall thoughts on it. Now that might sound like, oh, you've only played an hour, but there's not a whole lot to this game, and that's unfortunate, but I'm going to explain my reasonings for that. I'm going to explain the kind of odd situation that I find that this game is kind of in, if that makes any sense. So let's go into it in a sec here. First of all, this is the main screen, as you can obviously see, and no options menu or anything. This game is running on Unity on the Personal Edition, and you get things like resolution options, windowed mode and stuff, and some general graphic settings as you're kind of used to with the Unity engine, but in-game itself, there's not really anything, which is kind of a shame. So let's go ahead and load our game. As far as I can tell, there's only one save slot in it as well, so there we go. So when you enter the game, you're going to notice that there's actually no pause button or anything, and as soon as you go into it, like, the game is going right now, and this is the game that I've been playing on for the last little while here, and it says, "Hi, thank you for buying. We are very appreciate this, and hope we will make the great game together." You can read through that and everything, and what you're going to notice here is that the general grammar and spelling, while not, like, unreadable, and you can still get the intent behind the developer, it's very apparent that the developer isn't English speaking, and I'm not here to shit on that or anything. That's actually kind of fine, because there are many developers across the world that have different passions, and they want to make all these different games and everything, and even if it's not perfectly spelled or grammatically correct, different audiences from different languages can still find entertainment out of games. And so I'm not really, like, gonna drag that down or anything, but it would be nice to see the developer maybe hire someone who does speak English, maybe like a writer or something, to go through their text and stuff and get it kind of up to snuff for the English language, right? Because that just makes it like a better experience for everyone and that type of thing. So that's kind of my first gripe with it, and we're gonna get into the other things I've noticed as well. So the game's going right now. As I mentioned before, there's no pause button or anything, so even if I hit escape, you can't even hit escape to actually bring up a menu. You have to go to the gear up here. Then it brings up some general stuff, so saving audio on or off, so I can turn the music on or off, basically. There's no other sounds in the game that I've noticed so far. Then there's achievements and a little help screen. Now, when you go to the help screen, the game's still going and everything, so while you're trying to figure stuff out, stuff is still happening, and we'll get into that in a second. But this is the help screen right here, and you just kind of click and drag down it, and you get some general information about the game, but there's not anything in-depth or anything like that. And pretty much the bare minimum of stuff is explained to you, so it says, like, customers generate ratings when buying products, or when buy products, again, the English language thing, right? And it says this rating may be used to buy new stores. Of course, that makes sense, so you get money and you get different, like, approval ratings and stuff. And then it says when the cash is ready, you need to take it. So it just kind of explains, like, very simplistic stuff, but it doesn't go into detail in any of it, so you're kind of left to figure it out on your own. And all in all, this help screen can absolutely be improved upon, and it needs to be explained a lot more. And I'm saying this again, not to, like, necessarily shit on the game or anything, or the developer or anything like that, because this is actually their first game that they've created. And, you know, on Steam, especially on Steam, other places like itch.io, you see a lot of first-time developers, and they make, like, say, asset flips or something. They make something that's objectively bad. Now, while I'm not going to call this game, like, a really good game or anything, it's functional, and the developer has obviously put in the effort to try to make the best game that they can, and they've put in their own art assets. They've created a functional video game that, while I'm not going to say it's very good per se, they've obviously put in some passion and some effort into it, so I gotta say, like, good on you guys for doing that, because, you know, while it might not be a home run the first time out of the gate, they've at least obviously got some passion for making games, making tower simulators, or whatever else they want to make in the future, and they've made something from their own mind. They haven't tried to copy anything else, or they haven't tried to asset flip some other stuff off the Unity store, or anything like that, to my knowledge, right? So, I think that's very commendable, and it's sad that I have to commend that, but still, that's good on them. So, getting into the gameplay here, I've made, like, two-story mall, basically. You can make more stories. I don't know if there's a limit to it or not. Probably the limit is the clouds up there. And basically, when you're going through the game, you add in more stores like I've done here, and you get money, and this is a complaint I've got with the game here. The way you get money is actually by noticing when these little brown specks that I think are supposed to be like a cash register, but you can't really see it because it's a very small icon on the screen, pop up. You've got a limited time to get your money off that store. So once you've built a bunch of stores and everything, which you do by going over into the build section, you get all these different little things here. So say I want to build like a clothing store, it takes up like X amount of places, I'd hit build and put it there or whatever. Then, yeah, they start generating money, and you just have to hit that thing before the timer runs out and you get your money. But it gets to the point very early on, because I said I've only played this game for like an hour, that almost all of the game, especially during the day, is you trying to see when those little icons pop up and click them as quickly as you can before they go away, because if they go away, you don't get your money. Which I guess is kind of like the core of the gameplay, aside from placing the stores themselves and everything. And that's kind of disappointing to me, because it makes it feel like kind of a mobile game like Farmville or something, rather than like an engaging mall simulator or sim tower-like game instead. And on like adding on top of that, how small the icons are and everything else. Like when you click on the icon, you see this little icon in the corner of everything there, and that's kind of all you get. So it can be very hard to see, especially in certain stores that have a dark background, say like the bar that I have over here. It's hard to see when you can actually get money from them, so you end up just clicking on every single little store to see when you can actually do it. And another mechanic with it as well is the upgrade system. And you're probably thinking like, okay, so you can upgrade your stores, that's totally fine and everything. As far as I can tell, upgrading is free, which is not a problem in itself, but it doesn't notify you when you can upgrade stores until you've already clicked on it. Like you get a notification for when there's money ready, but you don't get a notification saying like, oh, you can upgrade this store. Like I can upgrade this flower shop that I've clicked on right now, but it doesn't tell you that until I click on it. Then I see this little icon down here, and it's like, okay, I've upgraded it. As far as I can tell, that just increases the revenue that you get and the amount of stock that it carries, and that's kind of it. Okay, so we gotta get some more money here. There we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and do some of the building mechanics then. I'm kind of ignoring the money end of it right now. Maybe I should get a little bit more, actually. We'll just click on these quickly. And again, it gets to the point that I can see it getting even worse, where you're frantically trying to click on everything, because you can't automate any of this, and you're trying to get all your money. So I don't really want to make my mall any bigger, because I'm already getting way more money than I'm spending, and it's going fine. So the challenge in the game right now is minimal at best, so there's no real incentive for me to go ahead and make my mall any bigger, but I'll do it for the purposes of this video. So let's go ahead and make an elevator to start off with. Actually, I think we need to make a floor first. Little things as well, like it doesn't explain to you in the build menu what's the difference between like a floor and a hallway. You can't hover the mouse over it. If you click on them, all that changes is the build cost, so that's confusing to me, because I don't know the difference, but nonetheless, we will build one right there, and nothing has happened. Okay, that's a new one to me. Normally when I build things, things actually happen. Let's try that again. There we go. And when I clicked right there, it just made it that big for some reason. Why did it make it that big? I don't know. Why did it make it almost to the end, but not all the way to the end? I don't know. There's been other times where I was making like the second floor here, and I built that floor and I made it from like one end to like a quarter of the way through for no reason at all, that I can plainly see at least. Like there's no information telling you that's how big it's gonna be. which is very odd to me. Okay, so we gotta get some more money to build an elevator, evidently. So we're gonna go ahead and get that done in a sec here. Maybe we can actually build a store there, then I'll show you a bit of that. Can we build, like, a rest area or anything? No, we have, like, literally no money. Oh, that's wonderful. And I have no money now because I built this entire floor up here without knowing how big it was going to be, which is kind of insane to me. So we're just gonna click on all these things here. And again, like, when you have so much stuff going on, it's very hard to see which stores you can actually get your money from right at that time. You end up just clicking through all the random ones to see if you can upgrade them or if you can get your money from them. And it becomes like a chore even 20 minutes into the game, which is not so great. Here we go. Okay, we're gonna get some money now. So hopefully I can make something. And I say make something, literally you just kind of click on what you want to build and place it. There's no building process or anything like that either. And again, I'm not shitting on this game because the developer had a vision for it. It seems like they genuinely want to make a game. So this is really just, like, suggestions and stuff because, you know, it's refreshing to see someone with a passion and with a vision. And while they may not have the skill to necessarily execute it right now, it's good to see that someone's making an effort rather than trying to make, like, a quick buck or anything. So I'm fine with this. Okay, let's go ahead and build something. Can we make that elevator yet? I don't think we can. Oh, we can. Good. Perfect. So, building this elevator will allow them to get to the next floor in the building, of course, and then, like, all the building works like building that elevator, so let's go ahead and make a stereo shop. Can't make one of those. I don't have enough money. Okay, vending machines. Why not? So we can place those right there as well, and those will do the exact same thing as those vending machines. You level them up, they get more money, and then people will go through different parts of your mall and everything. And that's really it. And you just keep making more and more and more. If you go to the Manage tab over here, you can go see blueprints. You can buy new stores and areas like toy dispensers. As far as I know, all the areas kind of do the same thing. They just generate more money. Like even the rest areas over here, that you'd assume are to maybe make customers happier or anything like that. They're not meant for that. They just kind of, like, get money as well. For some reason. I don't know why that is. They just do. It seems like the game has very simple mechanics, and while they work, like, there's nothing that's stopping you from being able to play this game. Like, all the mechanics seem to work. They just don't quite work well after you get, like, through, like, 20 minutes of the game, because it gets to the point where you just gain more and more and more money. There's no challenge in it, right? And there's no difference in making your first floor to your third floor. You might as well just put whatever you can afford in there and then get more money to make more floors. And then you get into other little things here too that are kind of odd in these menus and stuff. So for some reason, I have two versions of the cosmetics shop that I can buy, which is weird. I can buy a cake shop, which I've already done. I've already bought the blueprints for that, so it doesn't make any sense. We'll go ahead and buy the cosmetics one, why not? I just clicked on it, nothing happened. That's weird. That's very odd. Is it gonna... Oh, I just bought it again, I think, but nothing's happening. See, that's really weird to me, you know? It seems like this game isn't quite finished yet. It seems like there's some stuff that doesn't work properly and other things like that, which is a shame. Because this game is coming out tomorrow at the time of recording, so that's probably gonna want to be fixed. And really, this is kind of it, you know? This is the entire game. People walk into the mall, they get to whatever store they're going to, then immediately turn around because they've bought something and leave. And again, it's not that it doesn't work. It works fine. Let's put a toy dispenser up here for whatever reason, right? It works fine. It's just there's nothing to it beyond the first half hour, really. And again, it shows that the developer is very much making, like, their first game and everything. And that's fine. But depending on the price tag, which I currently can't see on Steam, I wouldn't recommend this game for more than, like, maybe $5. So if it seems like something you're into, you can try it. But it's it's more like a clicker game than anything, really. Like, that's what it reminds me of, because there's no real challenge or skill involved, from what I can see, really. And you can just keep playing it and make your thing bigger and bigger and bigger, and it might be a good casual way to kind of, like, lose some time in your day, but there's nothing really else to it. And again, I hope that what I've said here can help the developer as they make more games in the future. Maybe they'll update this one to improve on it and other things like that, you know, because that's what I want to see. Because games like this have potential, and it's good to see again that the developer has a vision for it. So I want them to be able to improve on that vision and to make something better and better and better and get better and better and better and make more money with every project that they do in the future, because we want more game developers that are making things that they want to make, that are making things that aren't asset flips on Steam and stuff like that. So while I'm not going to recommend this one necessarily right now, I am going to say that it's at least an okay first attempt, and I think that that should be commended, because game developers have a hard job. It's very hard to do, so, you know, keep going. And hopefully you get some good positive feedback, you improve this, you make some, like, very interesting concepts, and probably add in some nice things in the future, and then you could possibly have a good game on your hands, so that's what I think. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, give this video a like, I'd be super appreciative. If you want to support me, then there's a couple ways you can do that. Patreon and VidMe are the best ways. Thanks to all the recent Patreon supporters and VidMe tippers on my channel as well. I do appreciate it, you guys. You guys are awesome. I am PattyJack, and I will see you guys next time. Have a wonderful day.